Mind your P's and Q's. I thought this is something that we've been through. Got no time for the next man, them. Man don't chat, no scandal.
1, 2, Ngopelitaro, and we are back at it like crack addicts.
Yeah, man. What's good in the hood?
Yeah, we are back. It's really busy, Mama Farah. Episode 13. Banabadi 13. We are back. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you get from that?
If you know, you know.
Who did that?
Oh, man.
That's what's up.
Okay,
Yeah, it was meant to be.
Yeah, no.
It was meant to be.
Let's do it then.
We could lie and say it's 1 o'clock, but it's not.
But it's not.
It's enough 13s, nigga. Funny enough, I was born on Friday the 13th.
Snap. I was born on a Monday.
Shit. Yeah. So Friday the 13th is always a good day for me. Like,
Now that I know, I can't take away that Fringas word from you.
ish, bruh. And I can't let it go either, dog.
Clearly, it's your day.
Yeah, nigga.
Clearly, it's your day.
You know.
So, you're the only one that really says Fringas.
And one other homie. Ke lebetso re ke mara o kile an supporta ke bua ka yona daring ya Fringas ba futhi.
Nah, guys.
Guys, please, in the comments, Fringas, you guys have heard of the term Fringas,
Is
right?
Friday Fringas or Faras?
No, it's both. Ka Fringas, come after no niggas say Fringas, dog. Ka Fringas. There's no way I made that shit up, dog.
Ain't no way, bro.
There's no way I made that shit up.
Ain't no way.
I'm telling you that much. Ain't no fucking way I made that
But
shit
again,
up.
I can't take it away from you.
Sure.
You're born on a Friday.
Now you can't.
I'm still not gonna say it.
You know, nete was strong.
Yeah,
Tu na tlamona ra mane a o itse re ke tautu ra mane. A tautu la bua, dog, you must just believe. I'm common. You know.
Yep. B-sides is out.
B-sides is out. It took a whole long period to get that tape out, man. And somebody actually saw it for what it was. You know, it was vault music that was just sitting there, and I was like, I gotta get it out. But it took a little minute to get it ready. You know, it was supposed to drop January.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm happy that it's out. It's on Bandcamp before too. It's only $4. You know, you can stream it on there, but you got limited streams, and then you gotta, you know, donate something, Yana, just to say, you know, you appreciate the music.
So you can keep it going.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But speaking on that, you know, there's a reason why, and we've been talking about this shit for a minute, in terms of, you know, making our music available on streams as opposed to selling it directly.
Yeah.
Guys, let's not forgive a cable ya khasha nyana, so just bear with us. And yeah, man, the whole thing of doing it this way, you know, we're at a point where people think music is free.
Yeah.
You know, and it's quite frustrating. I opened up the recon, the music that we've put out over the last period of time.
Sure.
And versus the amount of money and time and effort and shit that we spent,
We're running at a loss.
we're running at a fucking loss. You know,
Yeah.
so if you think about it, like, imagine every song that we did, we had to pay for those verses, pay for the, you know, this, that, and the other, studio time, and you know what I'm saying? We would be fucking in the negative, crazy negative. You know what I mean? And there's just no money in streaming, bro. And we've been singing the same song for a long time, but now it's getting worse because both Spotify are moving the fucking goalpost every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
1,000 streams to get to a point where you're being able to be monetized. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and with that, they that 1,000 streams doesn't mean that nahana bona unale an album.
Sure.
And then one track gets over 1,000 streams. But your album doesn't get 1,000 streams as a whole.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
Then you're not getting paid.
You know, here's another thing, right? So your album collectively can hit 1,000 streams, but you won't get paid because they're not checking if the album is getting 1,000. Each song on the fucking album
has to be
needs
over.
to reach that threshold of 1,000 streams.
There's too many rules to this shit for
You know what I mean?
an artist to get paid.
Yeah.
But I've noticed there's a shift, right? There's a heavy shift, and I've been saying we need to make music scarce again.
Yeah.
I get the whole idea that we have these platforms and all of this.
Sure.
It's dope, but the artist is really not eating from that. There was an interview where Snoop said he did his recon, and he went over a couple billion streams, right? Overall, but he got not even over 100,000 for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's crazy that there's so much money being spent on recording. Everything costs money to make. A
100%.
3-minute song, once again.
Yesterday I was looking at Tsego.
Yeah.
Tsego just dropped a 3-track project, Your Name. Right? Tsego's now independent. He's on the same. He's doing shit the same way we're doing it now. He's racked up since what? The drop was about 2 weeks ago, I think. He's racked up about 60,000 streams, right? Spotify pays you 0.0005 at
Something like that.
at the top threshold,
Yeah.
right? Per stream. Doing the maths, those streams would get sell between 6 and 8 grand just from Spotify, right? Now it's fine for him as a independent. That 6 grand, he's probably gonna split it with the distributor, and then he'll split it with whoever's on the publishing, right? It still ain't shit
For that amount of streams.
You know what I mean? Now imagine he's stepping out of a label situation, right? Granted, his situation was more of a licensing deal as opposed to a full-on 360 deal, right? That 6 grand, it's a drop in the fucking ocean for a label, bro. But that's 60,000 fucking streams. If 1% of those 60,000 motherfuckers spend $2
on
Bandcamp or whatever
or just
these other
buying
platforms.
your actual physical, but obviously they don't make CD players no more and things like that,
Sure.
right? But
But I still think that shouldn't be a deterrent.
that shouldn't be, because now we're listening to vinyls. There's many ways to actually
consume music, bro.
Yes, to consume music. So also the listeners also spoiled. So it's a difficult thing to do. But again, when I'm talking about the shift, Pharrell dropped, but he dropped on his website.
Sure.
Right? So that is for his listeners. Dukes has been saying this for quite some time. I don't know if you noticed, even at his show, he said, I believe that everyone should have their own platform to
Yes.
sell their music.
100%.
Right? And Bona, his catalog now is on his website on Motoko Culture.
Sure.
You know, so the shift is there, and there he's selling his merch and
Yes.
all of that.
But you know, and Tux was here the other day.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this, and you know, he's like, "Yo, I see what you're doing, like, you know, with the pod and all of this and all
Sure.
of that." And why are niggas working together? You know, why are niggas collaborating more? And I was like, "Yo, man, the game is weird right now, right?" Niggas have relationships, you know, personal relationship with all these cats or whatever. But when it's time to grind, it's a tough conversation, right?
Yeah.
Because Span talk about 6,000, 10,000 for verse, and it's like I get it, but I ain't got it right now, so I'm gonna move on to the next. Right.
Sure.
Now when it comes to taking that work and putting it out, and it's like the reason why, even if I had the $6,000, what the fuck am I giving you $6,000 for? How you gonna help me make that $6,000 back, right? Because with the music sales, I need to cut you off. I need to break you off something, right? And I was like, the thing around that is like, as me, as Hash One, we need to create our own community, right?
Sure.
Where we're going to convince guys to spend a little bit of money on access to our shit, right? If I'm building my community and Noti's building his community, and my community is spending money on me and his community is spending money on him,
Sure.
bring those two worlds together, and you know what I mean? You increase your revenue pool. But now the audience, I don't know how we get to a point where we convince them to spend money. Because Dukes was like, man, this thing about the subscription. I'm like, bro, people are already subscribing to the Spotify and whatnot.
Sure.
Right, Bandcamp is a fucking app. You get it on your phone the same way you have Tidal, Apple Music, whatever. 3 different streaming apps on your phone. If you want to listen to my shit, you just click a button, open the app. You got it. You paid for it. You can stream it. You can whatever. Right? It's now if it's my platform and I'm giving you access to, there's a free side of shit that you can stream and listen to, but then there's a paid element to it. Right? We need to get people privy to the fact, like, yo, we need some kind of income structure here.
Yeah.
You know, and like you're saying, we've gotten the audience used to shit being free.
Yeah,
but that's what needs to change.
But,
we can't
but at
say
the same time, you know, knowing that the listener is used to this way of consuming music, if you are going to give them something different, or just say, okay, pay for this, right? What type of experience are you going to give them? You know, besides the music, because they can get the music anyway. Look at what happened with
the music ain't free though.
Yes, I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
And that's my gripe. Is that we're making excuses for the fucking audience.
No. I'm not making excuses for anyone. I'm just thinking as a listener, right?
Sure.
And because I agree, and you have to admit, we have to wear 2 hats here, because
100%.
we are just as guilty.
Yes,
because we're using these platforms to listen to fucking music. You know,
nigga, if Dre betters us to be like, yo, you gotta pay for my shit, I'll be stressed. I'll be like, come on, bro.
Look at what happened with Black Star. Black Star released their music on Luminary.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone was like, fuck that shit. They were like, I still haven't heard that album.
Sure.
But you know what I mean?
There the problem was that, for me anyway, as somebody who was reluctant to spend my guap, was that, like, yo, I'm not even paying for the album once off. Like, you're asking me to subscribe to a whole another platform for $60 another month, every month.
But
Right.
I think it's on Bandcamp now.
Yeah, because they
You know what I
saw
mean?
already.
So it had to move.
Yeah.
It had to move.
Because with platforms like Bandcamp, you don't subscribe to that shit.
Yeah.
You create an account, you're there, you have access to music. You can stream the music for
Yeah.
free, but it's limited.
Yeah.
Right? And then at some point, if you really like the shit, you want to hear it.
But
Copy.
that also brings me back to, music used to be scarce, bro. Music used to be so scarce. When we were buying albums, we had to reko musica maybe wouldn't have them. Yako mafike, you couldn't just get anything there. You'd have
Yeah.
to come this side. More Josie, go to CD warehouse and get whatever CD that you need. Come back, and you know what I mean. But now, yes, we have streaming platforms. We have all of these
Sure.
things. There's everything at our disposal. It's going to take a whole change, a mindset change, to get the listener to actually do something different. But there are people. The truth behind it is, if you really support this person, just do what it is. Because we were buying. I bought a Squatter Camp album. I had the Morafe album, Marwapula. You know what I mean? Get me this
150
album.
key, dog.
Yeah, you understand?
You know what I mean?
So, hey man.
Yeah, man. We need to switch it up, right? Apu sent a voice note. I just wanna play it. I think it's, with regards to what we're talking about now, and he had a question really, more than anything. Aruk.
Is it truly worth it putting music on DSPs anymore, except for the fact that in the long run you need those numbers for those streams to get you freaking, I don't know, endorsements, partnerships, whatever with brands and whatever. But when it comes to giving your fan base, or giving your core fan base proper music that lasts forever, or putting out music that lasts forever into the universe, is streaming still worth it? Especially as an indie. Because personally, and I might be wrong, but as far as I know, if you don't have the machine behind you, hey man, go buy yourself freaking streams. Get yourself a streaming farm, go buy those streams. Like you need to fugazi it or whatever. But I want to know, is it still really worth it putting out fucking music on DSPs anymore?
And that's the thing, right?
It's not.
Is it?
No, it's not. It's not for the artist.
Sure.
If we're looking at it from a monetary point of view, it's really not.
Let's look at it from this perspective, right? We are niche.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
An artist who's already gigging, performing, and all of that shit isn't so much concerned about the bag they're getting from streaming.
Yeah.
Yes, they're concerned, but not as much as you and I would be concerned.
Yeah.
Right? Because I need every fucking dime I can get from this music.
Yeah.
I'm not out here performing for 50,000 rand a show. Right? Also,
so that makes it look like they're using the streaming platforms just as a marketing
tool, right? So they play into the idea of
the high numbers would be like, okay, this guy is
hot shit right now.
Hot shit. Let's book him.
Sure.
But that also comes with a lot. If you look at the back end of it, the publishing, all of these things.
100%.
Why are you not getting a fair cut from that?
100%.
Because you are still, it's like you're paying these guys for.
Yeah, it's
to put your music there.
Exactly. Exposure. It's the new exposure. Perform man.
Exactly. Patala go perform.
Pay to perform. You know what I'm saying? So it's that thing of, yes, if you're looking for big brands and your music, it all depends on the kind of music you're also doing, right? If you're trying to play in the commercial space like heavily, then yeah, you have to play ball.
Sure.
You gotta be on there, but it doesn't mean that your shit is only on these platforms.
Yeah.
You can pick and choose what the fuck is on DSPs and what's for direct sale, right? La Russell is always a great example for this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This nigga got 30 fucking albums, dog. 30. Are you kidding me? How? Right? You've got access to the best performing ones, the ones that really put him on, right? But now, this new one with Hit Boy, it ain't on DSPs. You gotta get it from him direct. You can buy it for $1, bro.
Yeah.
But you gotta get it from him direct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, it took building up the brand to get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna sell my music directly now because I've got the audience. I've got 100,000 niggas that are listening to my shit. If 1% or 10% of them niggas jump ship and start buying the music, I'm winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then after some time, it's not like that music's not going to be on DSPs. I've made my bread off of it. Now I can put it on DSPs. Right?
Yeah.
So, yes, it's worth it in that sense. But first things first, for me, anyway, it's like, let me try and get as much bread from this music as possible. Before I essentially give it to y'all for free.
For sure. But you see, we're also talking about building, right? There's so many ways to skin this cat. It's just that in this climate, in this day and age, you have to think out the box, full on. Because it's not just about putting it on DSPs. You know, we're talking about trying to get bread out of it so you can try to get product placements, right?
Yes.
Do any of those, like just try get some sort of placement on your song.
But
that
you don't also need, okay, and I get with the brand side of things when you talk about product placement, adverts, and that sync, right? For
no, but because the truth is, it's rare to, not necessarily rare, but wanting to just feed off the music just from someone's pleasure of listening to the music.
Sure.
In this day and age,
it's a hard task.
It's a hard task. You have to think different,
and
that's where the
else.
placement comes in. That's where you have to go on social media and dance, nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to do something, get the music out there.
That shit works, bro. Like,
you have to.
You gotta do something.
You have to be in people's faces. But what about artists like me, right? That artists like me that just don't do that shit.
I don't like you motherfuckers.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, man. I'm a heavy introvert.
Yeah.
Heavy introvert, so how will you get that going? But there's ways of doing it.
Yes, there's ways of doing it.
There's always ways of doing it.
There's 100% ways of doing it.
And that's why I always look at I'm studying Mark Homie.
Yeah.
And I've been telling you, right?
Yeah.
The Haitian rapper. This dude, he's got this following, man. And it's different. Half of his albums are not even on DSPs. It's vinyls. But these niggas put Boma one of 200. So only 200 people, you know what I mean?
That shit.
One of 100. Exclusive merch, this and that on his website, right? I noticed he calls his fans investors.
Yeah.
So already psychologically, you don't think of it as anything but investing in something good. You know, he makes it like, you
own a piece of art.
Yeah, like I'll give you something that you will enjoy forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you are going for the experience.
Yeah.
You are going for all of that.
Yeah.
So
you're not buying into clout and all that shit.
Exactly.
You're buying
you know
into
what I mean?
me.
And he's also a mystery because he's always wearing a bandana,
Sure.
a Haitian bandana. No one really knows who he is, how old he is, you know, like really what he's about.
Yeah.
He dropped, like he ticks a lot of boxes. Pray for Haiti is the album, Pray for Haiti. The proceeds from that are going to the Haiti relief, some, right? So it's totally different how he's doing it, and that's what I'm saying.
100%.
There's many ways to do this, right? And with him, he's not commercial. He's straight up underground.
I like what you say there, because a lot of the time when we say yo cop the shit, it's like you're not copying this shit to put money in my pocket, right?
Yeah.
You're copying this shit, you're investing in me being able to
do more
to make the
of
next move, right?
Yes.
Mokwepa on our community cast channel comments, he's always there. Taviso. He's like, yo, y'all niggas need to open
Why
up.
did I always think Mokwepa was Cobra?
I thought the same thing the first time.
always thought it was
and then
Cobra. I was like-
he called me. He's like, yeah, I want Mokwepa. That's me. I was like, oh shit, that makes sense now. You know what I mean?
I thought it was Cobrizi this whole time, yeah.
You know, and he's like, y'all niggas, because he's been trying to get us out to Switzerland, right? And he's connected with some dope promoters that side that are bringing out artists that make the kind of music we do, you know.
Sure.
So it's like, yo, instead of us putting money up front, like put a GoFundMe and ask people to
Remember we tried that?
we
though?
tried that shit, and I said that to him. We tried that, and niggas didn't flinch, and we ended up pulling that money out of our pocket. Jiggy talk about my kids,
Yeah.
Relico Airport. Oh man, yeah, you niggas must rock. You know what I mean? And I'm like, having to do it again. It's like it was a painful experience. It was worth it, but like having to go through that process of asking for money, and it's a little bit damaging on the ego, man. It's like, the fuck, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to do this shit and sound like I'm begging. So as opposed to doing that, my music's for sale.
Yeah.
Cop the music so that I can take that money and put it into putting together a tour.
Yeah.
So y'all can see us live, and you know,
Yeah.
let's
It
move
doesn't-
around.
Yeah, it
and-
doesn't just stop here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
100%. So like all that shit costs, bro.
Just like with De La Soul's album.
Yeah. People paid for that shit.
People paid
People
for that. There was a
actually
crowd
started
fund for De La Soul's album.
Yeah, and sent them the money, like make an album.
The anonymous Mr. Nobody.
Sure.
Yeah. So and they that was paying for production and all of that.
Yeah.
They went on tour. Things were happening.
Were
you know what I
happening.
mean? And that was the time they were moving away from labels, from major
Sure.
labels. And I remember they posted saying, yo, this one will be for you guys, you know? But then, if we also look at it, and people don't like it when I say this, but there's also a fucked up bootleg culture.
Yeah.
Right? And especially Momzanzi. That's why you can't tell me that I love your shit.
And then you go copy it on Fagaza.
You went to Fagaza, or you ask someone
Send like a WhatsApp.
Said like a WhatsApp.
It's so crazy that niggas
seen
even
those
give
comments.
each other their numbers on
Bruh.
the comments, dog, in Facebook. Like, yeah, here's my number.
And then you know what I mean. and then they want to come and be on some SA
lot of
rappers.
shit. And it's crazy how they-
SA rappers don't have guap. That time you're robbing niggas.
Lifetime.
Lifetime. So.
Even though pay daily screen crave safagaza.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I've had niggas in my DMs. Yo man, I love your shit. Hey lantlatsa. Check what I'm listening to. Or audio mang. You're like, wait a fucking minute. You're
nigga.
like, what the fuck is this?
This took fucking $50 out my pocket.
You know what I
dog.
mean? Where you can see this thing was downloaded.
Yeah.
Look, man, it's not gonna work like that, bruh.
But Okopole Gape, you know, we came up in a different era and a different culture. Like you heard
Yes.
music because you went and copped that shit. Now, yes, it's easier, but you still appreciate having to go cop music because you went through that fucking experience, right?
Yeah.
And that music that you paid for has a very special place in your heart. Like it
Yeah.
reminds you of a certain time, things that, you know, there's real life moments connected to that
Yeah.
shit. Whereas now you've got so much music. It's a lot of projects don't have that for me. Those moments where I be like, oh man, I remember when I first heard this joint in you know what I'm saying? I think earlier on in Shonala, earlier on, you know, with the streaming thing, when, for example, when both Joey Badass were coming up, like I remember when albums were still a thing, I'd go.
Yeah.
I remember where I was when I heard this album, dog.
Yeah.
1999. Not 1999. The follow up. With the 9-5 till infinity, dog. That project, I forgot what it's called.
I forgot, yeah.
When I heard that shit, nigga, I was like midnight waiting for the drop on my phone, checking Spotify every 2 minutes. Kata. And I remember I sat outside Kustupum pumping that shit.
Sure.
Like twice. I was
Sure.
like, that shit is crazy, right?
Sure.
So buying music gave that feeling of like,
Yeah.
yo, I can't wait to put this shit in, and you know what I'm saying?
But now, if you knew how much the artist was getting then at that point in time, because I mean, this information is not fairly new, but
You never looked into it.
you never really looked into it,
Yeah.
right? You felt like you were buying the artist,
Yes.
music, right?
Yes.
But now that you think about it,
Because I'm like, he's getting some of this $60.
right? And now that you think about it, you're like, this thing actually didn't get nothing from you. You probably got like $2, 2 rands from me, right?
And I've been playing this shit for
and you've
10
been playing
years.
maybe
dog.
10 rands now. You understand? Guys, it's wild.
It's wild, bro. It's
So
super wild, my nigga.
yeah, but it's the game that we're in, bruh.
Yeah.
It's the
nah.
game that we're in. You have to move different.
And look, I'm not even fighting it. I'm just saying, like, the people that fuck with us, they need to know that
but now,
shit's gonna change a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not to say we don't appreciate the people that have been rocking with us and bumping the music, but it's like we wanna see something for it now. Like we wanna look out for ourselves because we wanna do this shit I wanna do this shit forever.
yeah.
Right? But
And like you said, it's there's a bigger picture to it.
Sure.
If this was happening properly, we'd be able to create shows. We'd be able to not even worry about being booked by anyone. You know, it's more like that. It's more of buying the product is more like a crowdfunding.
Sure.
To me. Right, remember even Rhapsody is doing it now.
Yeah.
She's doing a Proud to Pay campaign.
Sure.
In remembrance of Nipsey.
Sure.
You know, so now it's like if you really are about the artist, and I'm happy that a lot of artists are doing that. Like I'm saying, Dukes is doing that, and he's doing that well. Motswako culture. You just go to his website, you listen to everything there. But now it's a question of how do we monetize that? Let's say on your own platform, not Bandcamp,
Sure,
or whatever. How do you monetize that, or have the
again,
same
that
type
that,
of
that platform costs money to build, right?
build.
Yeah, but it's possible. Niggas just need to put in the work, bro. It's a matter of honestly just putting in the work. Like for me to convince niggas to spend that $2, I have to do the work. Nobody's just gonna be like,
That's
because
true.
I said, then I must pay, right?
Yeah.
So like you're saying, what are they getting from it?
Yeah.
Outside of getting the music, like I gotta give them an experience. They gotta feel like they're part of a secret lab of sorts,
True. And to give dope music.
Yeah, bro.
Make sure the music
You know.
is extra dope.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
The game is the game, bruh.
The game is the game.
The game is the game.
Speaking about the game being the game, your boy is out here wilding.
There's been beef going down.
Your boy is wilding.
Rap
bro.
beef.
Your boy is wilding, dog.
Rap
What
beef,
the
man.
fuck, bro?
Nah.
What's your take on
Now I
this
get
whole
it.
thing?
Now I get it, bro. I get exactly why he said, because when it's not your fight.
Yeah.
When it's not your fight, and if you're not that guy also, just don't do it. My take is, from everything that he's been saying, giving them praise and songs, and giving the big three the praise and songs, and all of that. This whole time, right? You can't jump back and say no, your albums are trash.
Sure.
Because that's
don't
the
believe
part
you, player.
that does not make sense. You know what I mean? Because again, you're gonna have to go explain that.
Yeah.
You're campaigning now. There's a rollout for your album.
You see with Cole, I asked this question in our hip hop group, fuck your group name, and I was like, K Dot has had moments where he shook up the game, and when I say the game, I'm talking about rappers.
Sure.
We shook up all the rappers, like where niggas are like, yo, like you pick your side now.
Sure.
Are you gonna say I'm talking shit? Or are you gonna rock with me and be like, no? And these moments are, we all know them, but the control moment, right?
moments, yeah.
The high five,
Sure.
BT, he called out
Sure.
Drake again for being a little soft ass nigga.
Sure. There's even an interview with him and Kobe said, he reminds me of me.
Sure.
Like, we can be cool and all of that, but
Sure,
I'm
but
taking
on the
heads
court,
off, right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he called himself King of New York,
Yeah.
right? He had, this nigga ain't been scared to be like, yeah, nigga, I said it. What? What are you gonna do about it, right? He's had back and forth with Cole for a minute. Nothing heavy, but we've all known that these niggas are homies. They dig each other, right?
Yeah.
Cole, he started this big three shit, right? Because he felt like, and this is my take, his 18-month run, he had killing niggas on verses, killing niggas on verses, right? Got him to the place where it's like, okay, now y'all niggas can't question it, right? I said it before, now I've shown you. Y'all can't question it. So, big three, motherfucker, I'm the motherfucking shit. Right? And we're like, all right, Cole, I hear you, player, and you might be right. Right? You might be right. Now, it's time to show it. Now, he started the big three conversation. K Dot responded, said, oh, it's how you feel. Fuck that, nigga. Fuck that. Fuck all y'all talking shit.
And for me, that was a reminder. That was a reminder, Khoriyo. I've told you guys already from control.
From jump.
That it's not that type of game. You know what I mean? I'm not that guy.
You know what I mean?
But
if you want to do that, let's go.
Do you understand?
So now is the moment of truth. and Joe Biden been saying this shit. Like, there will come a time when it's like, yeah, nigga, we've been talking that big shit.
Now we're here.
Press conference is over.
Now
it's fight night, though. It's fight night. You know what I mean? And J. Cole looked good in the gym, but he
not
didn't
but not in the court.
You know, it's like what? You know what it's like? You know that boxing clip of these niggas that walk into the ring?
Yeah.
And then as soon as the bell rings, the other nigga gets out the ring and just bounces. That's what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, dog, we spend money for this shit.
He went through the first round.
You know what I mean? He didn't even get through the first round. He just, he was warming up backstage. As soon as he walked in the ring, he's like, nah, fucked up. I fucked up. And the thing is, for me, J. Cole could have redeemed himself in a follow-up. If he
Redeem how, bro?
No.
Redeem how?
So if he hadn't apologized, right? We all agree that the verse.
No, I'm saying if he hadn't apologized, he's going to have to stand on the fact that he said that those albums were trash.
But he could have had a chance with a follow-up verse. He could have really thought about a follow-up verse and put all that shit into perspective.
How do you justify
He's
that?
He's a lyricist, dog. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I don't know. I can't justify that shit because I don't believe that shit. You know what I mean? But it's up to him to put that shit into perspective. He could have been smart about it and try to put it into perspective. Yeah, we might not believe it, but we might appreciate the pen game.
What should have been done, right, was look, and these type of conversations, especially when it gets to what should have been done, I don't like it when it moves there, right? But if you just look at it, it could have been something different in a sense. It should have been well thought of.
That's right.
Me knowing or listening to Cole and being a Cole fan, right? You can tell he's more mature in a sense. I would have expected him to be on some my nigga, I love you, but don't do that.
Yeah.
Keep my fucking name out your mouth.
Where were your boys?
Yeah, but where were your boys? And then there was an interview. I told you about that interview with his manager, and he was saying 7-minute drill is basically
what you come up with in 7 minutes.
Yeah, come up with whatever you can in 7 minutes. Play the beat, and it's a way for him to
work on his pen game.
To work on his pen game, and improve on his pen game, but. But do you see what I'm saying? If it's going to be shit like that,
where was Jid? Jid, where were you, player?
Where was he?
Where was Jid, bruh?
And that's exactly what I'm saying. If you're going to come at someone, you need to be very strategic. It can't be
just off the
just. I apologize. But I deleted. Hey guys. I won't be able to sit with a bunch of media or journalists and so are you saying that album is trash? Explain why it's trash.
I went through that bullshit, right? The Cass situation.
Yeah.
Right. And I say it again, and I always say this shit too when I explain this shit to niggas. I'm like, yo, there's nothing personal there.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing personal. It's what it is. It's like, yo, I'm coming at your pen game, my boy.
Yeah.
And that's that. Right? There's even a bar where I'm like, because I know niggas are gonna say he cloud chasing, all that
when you're shouting out his albums,
and I'm like, first I shout out his album, the first one, because I'm like, yo, that was a dope ass project. I enjoyed that shit. But then I'm like, Lord save me from the Zibipians, because I know I'm gonna have to explain myself to all these fuckers.
And that's really what happened on Twitter.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I have to explain myself to these fuckers, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. When you go into a situation like that, you gotta be prepared for all the outcomes that, the narratives that are gonna go around. So I thought about it before I decided to put it out. yo, these niggas gonna shit on me. These niggas gonna say I'm cloud chasing.
We were telling you that.
You know what I mean? Nah, for that one, you were like, nigga, go. But you know this is gonna happen,
at first
right?
I was like, hey, man. I was like, why are we having this conversation?
No, but
and I was like, do your thing. I'm going to back you up.
No, you
You're
must
my nigga,
remember.
but
You must remember that it was.
why are we doing this?
It started with me wilding out on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right, and you were like, nah, nigga.
Remove those
tweets. If you wanna say what you gotta say, why don't you just then somar?
I didn't think you were going to.
Sure, but then it happened. The next day I had the fucking joint. You know what I mean? And before putting it out, it was like, okay, what's the bad side of this coin? What is the bad side of it? We broke all that down. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm good with that. I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? When now I explain it in person to his homies, it's like, nah, you hate. I'm like, how am I hating? How am I hating? Because I ain't talking about nothing but pen game. I'm not talking about his success. I'm not talking about, and we all know homie did incredibly well. We respect that shit. Like, it's not a secret.
Yeah.
You know? But, come on.
It was for sport.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It was for sport.
Nothing personal.
Yeah. And I think
that's what J. Cole missed when he went with this.
but
he didn't look at the flip side.
But you also have to remember, Jorge, you know, when things like that are happening, you have to be prepared for anything. If the friendship is going to be tarnished,
for more than anything, the worst.
No, but
you have to consider the worst possible outcome.
But you also can't say that, oh no, you can't be that mad because I was just questioning your pen game. You can't dictate how a person should feel about what you said.
100%.
And I remember that time it was dissing week.
Yeah, I jumped on that bandwagon though because it was there.
A lot was going down, right?
Nigga, I was in the first 4 tracks.
I remember,
I
remember even what's his name, Rashid K.
He posted it up.
Rashid posted it. He was like, "Yeah, no, it's going down today." But at which point do we call it a sport, right? I'm saying we should call it a sport the whole way, you know, because if anything, it's contact sport, but this is now where we can showcase who's got what, right?
Yeah.
The only problem here is, Wawana, when you did it, you were being told you were cloud chasing.
Sure.
Right. The CBPMs were saying, hey, you're cloud chasing, whatever. Okay.
But my thing is, like, when it comes to a situation like that, right? You can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
As a response.
Yeah.
Whether you want to bring in the conversation of commercial success into it, that's fine, right? But because I anticipate that that's what you're gonna do, I'm already mentioning it, like the rabbit thing, right? It's like, yo, I know what he gonna say. Kino Man is cloud chasing, but but nah, nigga. Outside of all of that, this is the question I'm posing.
Sure.
Where the bar's at, right?
Sure.
So Cole could have approached this shit in any shape, way, or form. Mm-hmm. The same way with Drake and Kendrick, the level of success between the two niggas is not comparable. Right, they've both done extremely well as artists, but they're completely different artists. I was saying, I don't know who I was saying it to. I was like, Drake, because he's taking so long to respond, he needs to come back with a fucking hit.
Yeah,
he needs to respond on a hit. Are
we ever excited about shit like this with the SA rappers?
We used to be with AKA and Cass.
Is that the only memorable?
For me, it was in the Matsaka fraternity. It was the
Dukes and J Stash.
First of all, you're flowing Kaditwa, you must apply spray.
Nah, that
you know
that,
what I mean?
that track was brutal, bro.
It was heavy.
That one was brutal. But
It
I'm
was
glad
heavy.
they're cool now, you know?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But it was brutal.
But that was the last time. And then
Are kopa o tsenya motho wa ko mo ke tsena ka Africa ntsinyana da run it back
Yo, that was
Jay-Z
it.
for the ass.
That was
Jay-Z for the
crazy.
stash.
That was crazy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta look at it. And the trick about battling, right? You gotta anticipate what the niggas gonna say about you.
Yeah.
That's how battle rap goes, bro. You gotta go in there knowing that
Yeah.
this nigga gonna call me a bitch. This nigga gonna say this nigga gonna say that. You gotta scrutinize the way you've moved and your missteps objectively, right? And be prepared that shit is gonna be used as ammo. Whatever you even say now on this joint is gonna be used as ammo. So do your fucking research and don't say nothing
Don't half step, bro.
that's gonna be used against you.
Don't half step.
It's simple, this thing, though. You know what I mean? Because once you say it,
It's up.
it's out, bro. And that's my thing with Cole. He wasn't ready for that. He didn't think about it. He needed 2 more minutes on that 7-minute drill to think about his future.
This is actually the first time this ever happened, bro.
Ever, dog.
Rappers are stubborn ass motherfuckers.
This is like
And
it's
the-
like
and the-
it's
and the
like
Rona?
it's like it's comparable to when Cannabis opened his rhyme book.
Yeah.
It's one of those fucking
That's one of
moments.
those, like-
you know what I mean? It's comparable to that shit.
Oh, there was another bad moment.
Bad,
bro.
bad, bro. There's not like that. There's not like that in hip hop.
But also,
It's gonna
you know,
be
the
on
thing about
those
it,
lists
the
of-
thing about it is, on his side, I think it's just it kind of felt negative. You know what I mean? If it was Bona, what happened? That Big Zulu 150 bars and all of
Yes.
that, right? It only came out later. I wish it didn't come out
At all.
right?
That
But
shit was
it only
planned.
that it was planned,
Yeah.
right?
The idea of planning it was fucking brilliant.
Yes,
But
but
don't let us-
they should
don't
have
let
just
us
let
know.
it be.
Yeah.
You know, okay, this is what happened.
'Cause it kinda killed that
we
momentum
see
of
them
it,
go whatever the NBA games or whatever, and they're chilling together. Then
Sure.
let us be confused.
Yeah.
Play the game.
Play the fucking game, bro.
right? But even then, wabona.
One second.
I don't know. Okay.
No, continue. I'm just plugging this thing in.
Oh, Kire, I don't know if what's his name? Cass, ne?
Sure.
His response, right, was a bit wild for me. But again, it's hip hop.
Sure.
It's hip hop, you know what I mean? And I'm talking because he's talking about the homie abusing women, and in that response of his, right? If it was but it seems like it is, you know what I mean?
I don't think it was planned with him involved. The planning went as far as Big Zulu, Questa, and KO.
Yeah.
As far as I understood it. But Cass, the reason why them niggas, this is
Yeah.
how I played it out in my mind. The reason why them niggas decided to form this alliance was to go at him. Right? Because he started this shit. He started talking what he was talking on that feature he did where he went at everybody.
It was that same week, no?
No, that week it started with Big Zulu responding to Cass.
Or after
And
the
then
hoo-ha
in
thing.
that response
Yes,
to
yes,
Cass,
yes.
he threw in everybody else.
Sure.
And then everybody else came at Big Zulu, and like niggas were just choosing who they coming at for.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So KO and Questa, the memo was go at Big Zulu and throw in anybody else that you want to throw in the mix.
Yeah.
But Big Zulu's response was to Cass.
But I think what I'm moving towards is because it's not necessarily about him, right?
Yeah.
It's about at which point do you say it's too far, right? Let's say it was planned, right? But at which point do we say, okay, that is too far? Or do we just, because we have to be conflicted by that question in a sense, battle rappers, actual battle rappers, right?
They take it. They
I actually
the
wish
fucking
we had that type of culture this side. That would be so fly.
We used to.
Yeah, but not
It
on
never
that
picked-
scale,
no,
man.
yeah.
Not on that scale. I'm talking when Pro Kid, I was checking out some documentary about Pro Kid. His come up really popped properly when he was on YFM and he was battling some other guy.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, kind of, what do you say? I forgot, but there was some punchline and everyone went nuts about it, right? They were like, oh, fuck. And he started rapping in Zulu that time, right?
Sure.
And everyone was like, oh, shit, and he won that battle. And even Pitch Black Afro won from YFM
battles.
he became big from the YFM battles and things like that, right?
Okay.
But I'm saying, well, going back, the battle rappers, right? They're homies after that. They go chill and drink together.
100%.
But you find there's that disrespectful battle with Loaded Lux where he was like, your daddy ain't no gangster. He was just another lost nigga. Right?
When Busta
were there.
Let's
Right?
dance.
But later on, they're going to chill. Right? So it's very.
I will watch that battle after this, dog.
My point
That
is,
shit was heavy.
it's very conflicting, right? When we kind of like with Cole's situation, Kendrick's situation, they're saying, oh no, now there's another album that's out. ASAP is on, apparently he's dissing Drake.
Oh shit.
Weekend is on there. And he said some lines, like it's a mess, right? But it's obviously speculation, right?
Sure.
Or whatever the case is. But at which point do we say it's too far, right? At which point do we know that it's real? At which point do we know that it's not?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, because everyone has their own, they have their own fans, they have their stands, right? And to do this shit, you have to be prepared to break some relationships. That's the worst that could happen.
I feel you.
Right? Breaking relationships and maybe that shit getting as far as throwing hands. Maybe that shit getting as far as as the person that's going back and forth with this person. When are you going to lose it? Because now apparently Chris Brown and Quavo also, I don't look Quavo, is it Quavo?
Yeah, I saw that.
They also, Bona, there was that, I sent you the Biggie one. Busta Rhymes has a verse from Biggie that Biggie used on Dangerous MCs.
Uh-huh.
And the full one, he's actually dissing Pac.
Oh shit.
And it's on a J Dilla beat.
Oh shit, okay.
And he's talking about that guy, bald hair, tattoos.
Yeah.
He's talking that shit.
Oh shit.
Right? And on Dangerous MCs, those parts have been muted.
Yeah.
You know. So and the tragedy there is that those two rappers died.
It got too far.
Right?
And that's the thing. There's a fine line. Like, you know, with like the Jay-Z and Nas.
The Jay-Z and Nas one.
It almost got to a point where it crossed the line, right?
Yeah.
After Ether, Jay had a response.
Yeah, he had Super Ugly. And in Super Ugly, he was talking about how he was skeeting in his baby mama.
Sure.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
And it became a thing, yo. From what I read, it was Jigga's mom that was like, yo, hold up with that bullshit, right? And he had to apologize.
Sure.
But then after that, he drops
Take over.
No, not take over. The Gift and the Curse.
Yes.
I got my mojo back, baby. Oh, behave. That track, right?
Sure.
And he's addressing all of that shit. It's like he went in again.
100%. So and it speaks to that. Like there's a common courtesy MCs need to give each other.
Yeah.
Right. Man, and niggas from math know this, right? But and that's why people will always think between me and Cass is personal. It's like when this shit started back then, it was street beef. Was real. I mean, I hate saying this, but the first fucking rap I ever wrote was a diss rap to Cass. Cause niggas were coming at me, bro. I was like, yo, what's going on?
Kinda y'all had crews, bro.
Yeah. You know what I mean? There was Toti Clique, what's hero in them, right?
Yeah.
And them niggas were beefing. I just so happened to always be there, you know,
and you weren't even rapping.
I wasn't rapping, bro. Nigga, my jive, dog. And one day, there was a nigga in my class, Vivek. He comes through one day with his joint, and he's like, yo, listen to this. Ow. Nisi's dissing me. Jude is up in there. You know what I'm saying? It's going down, bro. It's going down. It's going down.
Why they
These
dissing
niggas shooting at everybody. And I'm like, fuck's going on? You know what I'm saying? What is happening, bro? So me, I can't rap at this point. So my niggas are like, yo, you gotta put hands on this nigga. Like, that's your only way out. You gotta rap or put hands on this nigga.
And you chose to rap.
Nah, I put hands on this dude that brought the song to me. I put hands on that nigga. And then shit escalated from there.
Yeah.
The next day or some shit, with Cass and Woody Bosky, all these niggas pulled up to Issa on some like, what's going on, you know? And I'm like, the fuck is going on in this bitch? From there it became, I mustn't see you in the streets. If I see you in the streets, I'm gonna fuck you up. And then shit.
But that was high school.
Yeah,
bruh.
that was high school, right? But with that shit, it got to a point where it got real. Like I remember there was a day I was walking, I was grooving with Bolio, and then I pulled up to some party, and Buddy Basky, dog. Pampeta ka sekele la, banke mo sekele. But yo, what up, dog? You not seen that?
The time they burnt your jacket.
Nah, that was when the shit between me and Cass started. Cause I guess it was If I See You, so we went there. Botsero found this nigga at a party. Went there, they stamped him out, and me, I remained. I was like, nah, I didn't touch this nigga. I need to come outside. He came to my school talking all that shit. I'm here now. Onka came out, calmed the shit down, you know. But before all of that, they took my jacket, burnt it, iPod in the jacket. So I was like, nigga, I need my iPod back. Like, it was a whole complicated thing.
Yeah.
Mind you, I get raped. The next week, bruh, I'm walking, niggas are trying to fuck me up for no reason for that party. And I'm like, shit is real in the streets. Jiggy Jiggy, there's another track. And so I was like, yo, you gotta do something, dog. And that's when Bo Pololo came out. Pololo was the third joint or second joint I did, because I happened to mention Cass on my first diss, and then he came at me direct with a hot verse, hot joint. And I remember he said some shit like, but my first
Nasi's like
the first joint I was rapping in English, bro. I was hitting the English shit, like, you know what I mean, like the cannabis style,
sure.
right? And this nigga said to me, Nasi's whack, more whack than that. That's when that joint came out. And in that joint, he said some shit like, ke tlo ruta ho rapa ka Setswana son. Abari ikepela le bitla ka teaspoon.
shit.
I was like, Jesus. So that's the moment where I was like,
he hit you with that pro kid.
you know what I'm saying?
That
And that's the
pro-kid
moment.
tactic,
That's the
bro.
moment I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? What have I done? Right? So we kept beat like a teaspoon was the line that fucked me up because I was like, yo, am I really digging my own
you
grave?
pictured it. You pictured it and it fucked you up.
And I'm like, this nigga out here wilding.
It messed with your brain, bro.
And that's when I went to Godo now. I was like, yo, Godo, I need some, dog. I need
come back down like this.
Back, you know? And that's how Polo Holo came out. Got Tim on the hook. Polo Holo did his thing, and it was real in the streets. Niggas were not safe. I wasn't safe to walk around. Like, you know, for like a good couple months, bro. I was checking every corner, you know. And then one day, me and Cass ended up at Leo's crib. And it was weird for a little bit, but then we stepped to the side, chopped it up, shook hands. I was like, yo, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We don't even know each other like that. You know what I mean?
First of all.
why this animosity? Like, what's going on? And we shook hands, and that was that. That was the end of it.
Yeah.
The next time I started hanging with the dude was pre Tolofedo. You know, and we're hanging out. And it was cool, man. It was vibes. It was cool, dude. There's no beef. There's no fucker. Which is why years later, all the other shit that happened in the subliminals that came out,
feels like it was
like, yo, what
imagine
the fuck?
holding on to
you know
high
what I'm
school
saying?
shit,
like,
bro.
yo, what the fuck is going on? Why is homie
that's too
taking
wild.
jabs at me every opportunity he gets? Like, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? And that led to that moment when this week was happening. I was like, it's now or never. Because, you know what I mean? Let's open the floodgates and make it a competition, you know. But it was never non-personal. And I think that's why people that know me and him personally always think it is because of that shit from high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is always weird for me. But it's that thing. It's like you realize, the reason I'm telling you this is like you realize that there's a moment where lines can be crossed. Where now you're walking the streets and niggas you don't know are trying to fuck you up.
True.
It's like, yo, this shit ain't rap no more. You know what I mean?
Even remember who was also beefing? Glitz Gang. This is now when I just arrived in Joburg.
Sure.
Yeah.
When Sutubami was becoming hot.
Yeah, who was beefing? But yeah.
Bongani. Wasn't Bongani Fasi part of that somehow?
Hey, I don't know. Let me not even say anything because that's not my realm of knowledge.
Sure.
But now, actually moving to a little deeper point of it, Vince Staples even said,
100.
That's your phone, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Vince Staples pointed out, because now that this that Kendrick verse came out and all of that, right? He bore Spotify and them, what they did, they started putting ads out going, rap is a competition. And in a sense, it's like them supporting this shit, right? And also in a sense, they are driving marketing
100%.
to their platform now.
Yeah.
Right? And like we just established, horror artists don't really get shit from these joints. But they won't fight for the artist. You know, he said they will put billboards up, but they won't put billboards up saying something around give the artist publishing back.
100%.
And shit like that, right? So it's like they're really part of the problem. They're part of a bigger problem, which it looks good and that's why I was asking, like, at which point is it too far? Because you as the artist, and that also brings me back to understanding where Cole is coming from, right?
100%.
Because now those relationships will be messed, but they're going to profit.
Yeah,
You
who's
know what I
really
mean?
profiting from this
Who's
shit,
really
yeah.
profiting from this beef?
100%.
From these battles and all of this, right?
Yeah.
If it was okay, we are going to do this. That track, if you want to hear that track, it's on Bandcamp. Go buy it.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Then they would be out of the picture. But them actually putting petrol to the fire is a big problem on its own. You know what I mean? So it's very tricky. That's why I'm saying we'd be very conflicted in how we actually look at it, because there's a fine line here. Even we might take it as a sport, just like you took it as a sport,
Yeah.
right? But how he took it on his side, because we all blockade. You know what I mean? You have to consider that. Sharp, the relationship will never be the same.
Oh, yeah.
But you didn't have ill intentions,
Yeah.
right? It was literally just a real hip hop response, because at that point, he said, I inspired everybody.
Yeah.
Every one of you niggas, and you came back, including Big Zulu,
Sure.
including all these other niggas,
Sure.
right? You came back and you're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but there's niggas like me out here.
Yeah.
And
You didn't consider that.
You know what I mean? But unfortunately, because of however the game is right now, it's a
another
shitty
thing.
game.
It's another
because
thing.
Now it's like it's ruining your platform. They're making it seem like you are ruining your platform.
Sure.
And looking for clout and whatever. But the goalposts get shifted. You choose when it's a sport
and when it's not.
when it's cloud chasing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when are you
And it
going
becomes
to be
like that when you know, Cass is up there, I'm down here. Like even now, there's a dude that just went at J. Cole after this apology,
Simba,
right?
yeah.
And it's gonna seem like cloud chasing, right?
They
but it's like
actually saying that, yeah.
the floodgates are open. But it's like, yo, I heard that shit, and I was like, yeah, there's nothing amazing, wow, but he ain't lying. Just because he ain't got as big as a platform as Cole,
Yeah.
doesn't make it any less true.
right?
Or any less dope. And that's the problem. As soon as you go against somebody that's perceived to be better than you because of their status, then becomes cloud chasing. But if I had the same status, niggas would now listen like, ooh,
did you hear?
you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck
Still,
that.
at the same time, it was going to come to that, because people, but even now, people are still talking about Drake's numbers compared to Kendrick's. You know, this and that. Oh no,
Who's
Kendrick
got more Grammys than like between those two?
I think
K-Dot,
Kendrick, yeah, Kendrick has more awards. He's got that Pulitzer Prize, but
Yeah.
like, can't tell me nothing
Yeah.
after that.
Is that what did he say in the Hard Part 4? He's like something around that line is so dope. It was more I'll remember it, but it's more about you niggas want to talk about achievements as opposed to like influence, you know.
Yeah.
But the way he put it is like, nigga, I got I got more of an effect than what you think is an effect.
Yeah.
Like, nah, we ain't talk about the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I remember the line.
at
now. Let
that
me pull
point
it up.
in time, it's about who's dropping a hotter song now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Who's dropping a hotter song now? Just like with, I'm more of a Jay-Z fan than a Nas fan, right?
Sure.
I still listen to Nas, but
Sure.
you listen to Ether, and you, as a Jay-Z fan, you can't fight it. You just can't. I was like, hey man, Nas did some things here. But, you know, and then you, as a fan, again, you come back and try to justify it on some, but as a response, you have an advantage to to respond, you know, to come up with a hotter song, this and that. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, these type of back and forths is more of a loss for the artist. So again, I get where J. Cole is coming from.
The line is, I'll let you worry about a list. I'm on some other shit. A difference between accomplishments and astonishments. You know what time it is. And this is in forever. Y'all got till April the 7th to get your shit together. That part, like the difference between accomplishments and astonishments, that bar is crazy for me. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, and J. Cole retracted and apologized on the 7th of April.
Where was Jade, bro? We need to get Jade on an interview. Yo, but Ebro need to find Jade, bro, and ask the right questions, my nigga. Like, it's wild in these streets, you know?
Nah, man, we must just let it be, bro.
It's wild.
We must really just let it be.
Yo, but it's been a fun couple weeks for hip-hop, man. I ain't gonna front. It's been nice.
The competition must keep going, though.
You know? It's been really dope. Yeah, man. I don't know. We can keep going on this shit forever. I mean, is there anything else you want to touch on?
Nah.
You know? Yeah, guys, B-Sides is out, man. Please.
Do your thing.
Support it. Do the right thing. We'll be back again next week. You know, we keep doing this. So click subscribe, like, share. Let us know who you'd like to see sitting down with us and having a conversation.
I'm calling out Dukes.
Dukes needs to come through.
Dukes needs to come through. Dukes.
You need to come through.
Come through, boss.
You need to come through, man. You know.
I know the people will love that one.
Yeah. I think I'd like to have a 3-mic situation for that, you know. So, Rekang B-Sides so that we can buy equipment that can for it. Hey,
and give you more.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is, man.
But yeah, man, it's all love. Comedy Cast, Kino Man, Mixwale Ninja. No more Motsoko J. Cole. No more. We cancel that one.
Yeah, you can't. Yo. It's offensive now.
No more. You know what I mean? Yo, it's love, man. We out of here.
Love.
Peace.
Been chasing the limelight, still can't handle the mic right. You lot are cut from a different fabric, fucking with a maverick. Yeah.